Yeah, I still want it, I still need it, even though it's wrong, even though it's wrong. 'Cause I can't stop shaking, million miles away, but I still feel it. Can you feel it? Nothing can stop the ground from breaking, can't stop the world, can't stop it. Nothing can stop my hands from shaking, even when you're gone, there's the aftershock. Nothing can stop my hands from shaking, even when you're gone, there's the aftershock.
Hello, welcome back everybody to a new video. This is a sort of new style of video because it is the first properly edited with voiceovers from my channel. This is a thing I made with Legofan over here together. If you are German, there's also a German version on his channel. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into this thing, shall we?
First of all, you might have noticed this super seamless interface. All of the buttons are placed right below where the sand will fall, so they aren't on a wall on the opposite side or somewhat awkwardly behind the sand, but right beneath where the sand will land, which looks really clean and also adds to the playability. It was also important to us that everything would look nice while you were playing, so as the wall retracts, the sand instantly falls down, both the red and the yellow one, then they instantly get pushed out as soon as they are blocks, meaning that everything looks super nice and you won't be able to see a single piece of redstone. Another thing that we kept as seamless as possible is the reset. The bottom row only retracts for a short moment so the pistons can grab the sand blocks, and yeah, you won't even be able to see the pistons as fast as how it happens, but yeah, later more about the reset. Anyways, let's talk about the display. Unfortunately it is not connected, even though it's very much possible. There is actually a video here on this channel where you can see it working, but why did we even bother to build it in? What were the ideas we had? Well, first of all, it would be obvious to use it for win detection. So when the system has detected the player has won, it could show the 4 sand blocks which made the win. It could also show you the last move, so a blinking light could indicate that that was the last sand block placed. It could be used for some idle animations, and also it could visualize the reset, which would look incredible.
Now, after Legofan bored you with an unused display, I will try to get your attention again with these free premium add-ons, which are 100% free and will raise your swag level by an estimated 420 points. For example, we have a display which actually works. Crazy, right? One of these 2 lamps will display which player's turn it currently is. The redstone behind it is way too complicated to explain it in this video, sadly, so you just need to believe us on that part. Next up, we have an overflow protection which prevents the players from placing a sand in a row which has already hit the stack sand height limit. Should the player still try to do this because he's a retard, the system won't even notice the input and as a result won't do shit. And last but certainly not least, we made it so that the system cuts off the inputs during the super duper fancy swag deluxe reset, so that total morons won't screw up everything like they always do.
Hey, where you just talked about the reset, let's see how it actually performs. So a great advantage of the reset is that it's very fast. So what you're seeing right here is actually real time, and for all that happens in the background, it's actually incredible how fast it is, I think. It should also be free of errors. We tested it a lot and all of the logic should be so that no errors occur and every sand gets to where it belongs. But how does it actually work? How does the system know where to store each sand? Well, we have these parallel stacks of droppers right here, which go from top to bottom. And let's say I place a red sand in the left row, then the system can either have a shovel, so a non-stackable item, or a piece of dirt, so a stackable item, in the left row of droppers. And that represents which item is placed where, and this is where we store it. And later on we can evaluate what is saved where, and therefore control the pistons accordingly.
Yeah, Lego fan, that's all well and said, but the viewers really want to know how the super duper reset even works. So first, the inputs are cut off from everything else, so the total morons won't screw everything up like they always do. Next, all the items in the dropper memory stacks are pulled downwards until the lowest item in each dropper is in the lowest dropper, because previously every dropper stack had its item stacks up at the top, meaning that the top item was in the top dropper and the bottom droppers were empty. This is controlled by a simple clock. After that, every single stack will check for its lowest item, whether it's a stackable item like dirt or a non-stackable item like a shovel. And if it's a shovel, it will detect that and open a hole under the sand towers behind the playing field, so that the red sand can fall one layer below the white sand in order to separate these two sand sorts. After that, all of the sands will be pushed one back and then pulled upwards by 4 sand towers, which will sort the sand back into its storage position. The white sand is stored under the red sand and the red sand is stored on the white sand output. And finally, I will try to explain the basic input to you and what the system does with it, because this whole wool mess sort of should make sense to you after watching this video, and I know it probably won't because I suck at explaining, but I will give it a shot. It all starts with a player pushing a button. Next up, the dark gray circuit, which is controlled by a T flip-flop, will decide whether it is a white player's turn or it is a red player's turn. After the signal has passed through this test, it will toggle the T flip-flop to change the input again. Next up, the signal will travel through one of these 14 torch towers up to a piston, which will then push the sand onto the sand output double piston extender, which will open and close again perfectly timed, so that the sand will fall onto the playing field, where the players can be astonished by this beautiful sand. Yeah. And at the same time, the signal passes through the torch towers. The dark blue circuit over here will read what it is with a single strength detection and will set up the memory dropper stacks accordingly. So that has been it for the video. Make sure you head over there and give my buddy Legofan a subscribe, and maybe even like the German version of this video, because we really worked hard on this. Side note, we worked on this around a year ago and we were too lazy to actually do a video on it because we are lazy and we are sad and our life is depressing. Anyways, if you want, you can follow me on Twitter @CubeDoesStuff. I tweet around once every 2 months, so I don't know if it's really worth your time, but you should still do it anyways. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. Likes would be appreciated, but yeah, it's not necessary, like whatever. And you can comment if you want more sorts of these videos or minigames or whatever. I had an idea for a sand-based Tetris with actual pistons controlling the side motion, but whatever. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and bye!